So here we are back with the hostess.
We'll go with that.
How am I supposed to say it?
Hosts.
Hosts.
There you go.
Here we are with the hostess. Hosts.
Nope.
Hosts.
There you go.
Hosts. This will be the whole start of the podcast.
Yep.
So I figured we'd talk about what's going on with jobs.
Oh.
Aviation jobs. Also, you're getting your MEI. What's
Getting
another
MEI.
plan? You and Fernando.
Yep. Gonna go out and get some MEIs, hence the multi-engine slides.
Hey.
Yeah.
That I was not able to complete with you guys shooting videos in the back. At one point, y'all were right in front of me, like in front of the shirts, and I was like,
You were here?
"Yeah, I'm pretty sure." Yeah, I was at the computer while y'all
I
were
didn't
doing
even know
it.
you were here. I thought
Yeah,
you meant
I
you
was-
heard him listening to the video.
No, I was hutched down under the computer trying to focus. Yeah,
You're getting close to the 1500, right?
2 hours away
Yeah.
as we speak.
Oh, 2 hours away.
2 hours away.
So you should get
1500.
that today, right? Maybe. So the
Should.
weather has improved.
Has improved, so I should be at 1500 today.
Yes.
We'll get to 1500 today, and
Yes.
then we'll see about jobs. But we've been applying for the last couple months or whatnot.
You have?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I've been applying the last.
I was trying to figure out who the we is, like, unless there's
Me,
multiple
John,
personalities in there or something.
John's a lot more free moving than I am.
Yes.
I
Me,
can't.
Brennan, B-Dog.
B-Dog Ghost Boy. What the what? But yeah, no, I'm a lot more limited than what John can be. John.
Oh, yeah. He can move anywhere. Yeah, I think he that's his plan.
South Texas.
Yeah, wherever he wants.
Huh?
South Texas.
South Texas. That's
John-
that's a job that he's looking at. Is
He just automatically gets that accent if he goes to that job.
crosses Texas border.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Where starts wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And John's been applying for, since January? Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer than that.
He hit 1,500 months ago,
Yeah.
but he's only at like 1,700 right now, I think, or something like that. So 1,700, and he's got. I mean, there are jobs out there. I heard somebody say it the other day. It's like it's kind of like real estate. Like when you cold call people to try and get opportunities. When the job market's hard, there's jobs out there. You just gotta make a little bit more effort to get the job.
Yeah.
You know, it might not be the dream job to start off like you would be able to then, but you know, you just got to look. So, but for me, I'm more,
You just bought a house in Youngsville.
yeah, no, I'm more, I can wait it out.
Yeah.
I can wait it out. And then whenever an opportunity comes that I want to take, I'll take it. But I'm not like fiending to get the next job. You know, I'm cool here. And whenever the opportunity comes, we'll take the next opportunity.
So, yeah, you're going to get the MEI to help you kind of build more of that multi-time.
Yeah,
to
because
get a
some of
little
those
more.
bigger private places need it, like NetJets and stuff like that. They require 50 hours.
Yeah.
But who knows? They're probably, from what I've heard, hiring at those kind of places too are really, really competitive.
Yeah, I've heard that they look more at personality. And, I mean, it's a multi-step interview, not just,
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, yo, you want to come work over here?
Yeah, no.
John got one of those, didn't he?
Was that the Metroliner?
Yeah, probably so. Is that the one in Texas?
Yeah, that was the one they like
They
confused.
emailed him,
Yeah,
and then they
emailed
were
and
like,
no, that wasn't right. Sorry.
Yeah, and they wanted him to come to class or start training
Yeah.
tomorrow. But
yeah. And then he called them and they were like,
Yeah.
no, that was wrong.
Yeah.
That we were not trying to get you
Yes,
here on
yeah.
Monday.
So complete confusion.
Yes.
Yes.
What's confused? Like, who got confused?
I don't know. I figured somebody in the hiring process was like, yeah, someone told him like, hey, we need to go look for somebody like ASAP. And he was like, oh, this guy's right here.
Good timing, man.
Can you be here Monday? Whoa.
Whoa.
No,
a little weird.
Not that.
Yeah.
And then he called them and they were like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it
not.
sounded a little sketchy.
That's the South Texas one that
Yeah.
I was talking about. South Texas.
South Texas.
He did some more investigating. They're not that desperate.
They're not just hiring people
No.
right
No.
off
No.
the street.
I haven't been doing what he's been doing, though. Like, he's been applying to those like smaller cargo or smaller corporate places and stuff like that. That for me, it'd have to be a job that I could still live here and get to that place, like in NetJets, where
you can live pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, you can live anywhere and you can commute to wherever you need to go. But for me, you know, I need to kind of just stay here to where I can commute to wherever I go, or get a private job here, you know. So
yeah, like, you know, Paul, he works for JetBlue and then he drives to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And hops on a flight.
And that's
he's based out of New York, I think.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how I am right now. Like right now, I'm kind of applying to the airlines that have connecting flights out of Lafayette. So like a lot of the regional airlines that I've applied to are places that have bases in North Carolina or that have places in Dallas and places in Houston. Because I think the main 4 places that Lafayette goes to is North Carolina, Dallas, Houston, and somewhere's in Florida, like Miami or something like that.
They go to Atlanta.
That's what it is. Sorry. Yeah. Atlanta. So the 4 places, and Atlanta's got everybody, I feel like. So that kind of just opens up. You know, it's really not a hard place to commute out of. So been doing that. Been looking at airlines like that.
Have they said anything?
Competitive. From like when I first started training, when everybody was getting in and they were like, you know,
you got a heartbeat.
Right. Heartbeat.
Yeah, heartbeat. They hire you.
Yeah. Whenever
heartbeat in 1,500.
Whenever they did that, they were saying like, hey, put your resume in like 3 months out from your ATP minimums.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did. And then it changed to where it was like, I think John said he went somewhere where they were like, it doesn't even show up in their system anymore until you have the minimums.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you're probably not going to hear anything from anybody until you get to those hours that you need. And then you'll probably start to see some movement. It'll probably start to open up some opportunities with just anybody. Right. Yeah. Because like a lot of those private charter companies are probably looking for you to have an ATP or at least ATP minimums to where you could, you know, if you can get your ATP.
I mean, I had heard that like 800 was kind of the going number for like the charter companies and the smaller like cargo based on insurance, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody's experienced that or had somebody say.
I'd probably say it's more 1,000 plus now. Those jobs that I've told you about that I've tried to get and I couldn't get covered by insurance or whatnot. I mean, I was 1,000 plus hours and couldn't get covered by insurance for those kind of guys. Now that was Part 91 flying, those contract flying. But I don't know. I'd say the private charter companies are probably more competitive than what like an airline would be. I would think. I may be wrong.
I mean, the airlines, you got to have an ATP. No matter what seat you're in, you have to be an ATP. But 135, charter, cargo, whatever, there's no requirement. 1,200 hours you need 1,200 hours to be a captain.
The way I look at it is like these bigger airlines, like a bigger airline or a bigger company or a bigger 135 operation is more willing to, if they needed to, they could pay for somebody to get a type rating in said jet that they needed, right? But these smaller 135 operations are going to be more competitive as far as like who they hire because they're definitely going to take somebody that's type rated in a citation if they are trying to find that, right? Because then they don't have to spend X amount of $1,000 on people being type rated, right? Compared to an airline that probably doesn't care that much about it. They can get somebody type rated easy, you know?
Yeah,
so that's why I think it's more
and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably more competitive for the 135 stuff than it is an airline. But
nobody's giving you a phone call or emailed response to you. Or
like
whatever.
I said, I'm also not like scorching earth to find something either. I'm big opportunity will come when it comes kind of thing. So it'll come. The universe will all work itself out whenever it needs
Just
to.
manifest it, man.
Yeah. Just stand in my mirror and I tell myself how great of a pilot I am. You are worth it.
Tip of the day is
you are great.
Manifestations and self-affirmations. Yeah. That's how you get your job. Not asking people for jobs, but that.
But taking it.
Yes. You don't ask, you take. I'm here for your first officer position.
I'm here for your job, is what you gotta do.
Can we get rid of this guy?
Yes.
But I think I would like the 135 stuff more, probably. I mean, I would like flying for NetJets. I don't know if my wife would like me flying for NetJets.
The nice thing about NetJets is he can live anywhere and he could work 7 on, 7 off, or they have different schedules.
Yeah.
I think the main one is 7 on, 7 off.
The main one's 7 on, 7 off. But the
How far did you have to go for Acadian?
Right next door.
Oh,
yeah, it's in the same hangar.
No, you mean like trips? Like,
well, kind of both. But
well, I mean, it's here in Lafayette,
well,
so I
I
didn't
first
really
took 12
leave.
steps that way.
Yeah, that's right.
Not this door, but like the next one over is a
That's
Canadian ambulance.
awesome. So, okay, how far did you fly?
We went to Canada, and we went to that's most north, Calgary, and then
And what'd you fly for them?
a Learjet.
That's the Lear. Okay.
Yeah. And then we went down. The farthest I went down was probably Honduras.
Ooh.
Farthest south. Yeah.
Honduras is pretty far down there.
Yeah. We did a flight one time from Atlanta down to Honduras.
What's the longest you were gone from home?
I guess a week.
Okay.
I mean, that was
so kind of the same idea.
Yeah.
Was your wife okay with that? Did you have kids yet?
I think
no,
they just
well,
kinda run with
we
it.
probably had Lily at that time, like just right when I started over there.
Yeah.
So she was still a baby.
Was it one of those, the money was worth it, so it was okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and it's just a part of the career too. I think whenever you sit down and talk to your spouse and say like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," they kind of just get the understanding that like, "Hey, when I get there, this is the consequence."
We've talked about this, yeah.
Yeah, this is probably what it's going to look like. I'm probably not going to be here
As
for
much.
some days, but when I am here, I'm here.
Yeah.
That's true.
All
You're
the
not
time.
working at all when you're here.
That's a big
Yeah.
reason why I got into it. It's
Yeah.
like real estate never stops.
Yeah.
Real estate, you're on it from whenever you're awake to whenever you go to sleep. I like real estate and I like helping my family now, but like this, I get to turn it off.
Yeah,
Like
that's cool.
I get to go home and like spend time with my kids and my wife.
That's why I'm here.
Yes. Yes. And even with the airlines though, for me, if any job like that, where if I was gone for a week, that's cool. I'm cool with being gone for a week, but when I am back, I'm back.
Yeah.
Like I'm home.
You turn your phone off. You're not answering it for any flights
Yeah,
or
no,
anything like that.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
you're off.
Yeah. I'm not doing any of that. I get to spend time with my family, spend time with my kids. There's not like that background pressure of like, there's something that I need to be doing.
Yeah.
It's you're not there. You're home.
Oh, the thought
Yeah.
of that is so great.
Well, that's why I got into this. I was like, man, that's so amazing. I would love to do that. So, and I'm okay with being gone. I think my wife's okay with being gone.
Yeah.
That's a big part of us living down here is if I am gone, my family's here.
Yeah.
There's also perks
Yes.
with that.
Traveling perks.
Travel perks. Yeah.
I think it's
Family.
just much more up in the air too, where it's like with NetJets, you know that this guy's going to be gone for a week. Like, and that kind of sucks. It's like, yeah, you're going to be gone for a week. That sucks. For an airline, it comes out like every month or so, and you're like, oh, cool. That sucks. He's going to be gone for this week. But that next week, he's only going to be gone for 2 days, and then he's here for the rest of the week kind of thing. So for her, she's more like, she'd rather take the risk of like, sure, he's gone for this long, but he's going to be back, She'd rather take that risk of me like getting fortunate enough to where I get trips to where I'm only gone for a couple days instead of being gone for a whole week. Whatever one's the best. Whatever one's the best opportunity.
Are you using that website? What website, Giles?
Oh, no. That thing for him, that's that management website.
That's more management
Ops,
stuff?
Yeah.
I listened to that, him talking about that website.
Because I had gone to it, but I don't remember what jobs were open. Is it just
Well, Climb to 360. I think that's still one that have you ever used that one?
Mm-mm.
Airline apps.
Airline apps is what I use.
now that you're about at 1,500, what's it look like to like for people that are like, oh, when I get to 1,500, I want to look for a job. What's that look like?
The whole day of like, as soon as I get to 1,500, I'm going to have a jet job. It's like probably gone. It's back to normal.
Yeah,
like,
normal.
Like you said, you didn't get your job at Acadian until you were at 1,800 hours.
Oh, okay.
And when I got into this, I didn't get into it saying like, oh, when I get to 1,500, I should have a job at an airline or something like that. I knew that it could not be that way by the time I get done with everything, and I'm okay with that. I'm not dying to get out of instructing. I like instructing, and whenever the next job comes, it'll come, and I'll move on to the next step in my career. But
what's the process look like? Like you said, you were using, what was that?
Airline apps.
Airline app.
So
that's what the app is called?
It's a website. So, and it's not for all the airlines. There's only certain airlines that are incorporated with the app. So some, like if you were trying to apply for like Republic is an airline, a regional airline that doesn't use airline apps. So you have to go directly through their website to apply. But other airlines like Envoy, Endeavor, PSA, Piedmont, all the other regionals, the main regionals, all use this website where it kind of streamlines everything for you. Instead of you having to fill out an application like 10 times, you just kind of put your information once, and then you go to this page where it says jobs targeting, and then you just once you upload and you update, I guess you could say, your resume, you update it, and then you go to each job and you just update, and it sends out your new resume to those places. That one costs like $99 a year.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. I've sent out some applications. That makes it 10 times easier.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. But sometimes I've heard people say that it's better to go directly to the website to apply for some of those airlines for some reason. I don't know. Because
they might see that you're just kind of spraying and praying instead of actually interested.
I'm not 100% sure why. I know some airlines too, you'll go to their homepage, because I've done it. I've gone to their homepage, went to their careers page, and went to apply, and it redirects you to airline apps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it redirects you back to airline apps to fill out the application. So like that's the only place you can send an application through.
Well, that's confusing.
Yeah.
Some of them don't. Some of them have their own careers page.
Well, it's confusing when some of them prefer you to go straight to their website and some of them only use airline apps.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been that way.
What do you people want?
Yes.
But it's been, I haven't gotten obviously any yeses. I'm still here. But
yeah,
I've gotten.
You haven't gotten an interview.
I don't know. No interviews. I've gotten.
So we don't 100% know what that process looks like.
No, not yet. I've gotten emails from multiple places that have said, kind of confirmed what I was saying about getting to your hours first. Like they'll have airlines that'll say no right now because you're not at the hour.
Like we're not even worried about you. Get there first.
Yeah, they reviewed it and they basically said, hey, based off of how much you're flying, you should be at your minimums by this time. So reapply in June.
See, they were doing where like if you had 1,400 or you had not quite 1,500, they would still kind of take you because they're going to send you to class anyway, and you're going to get some of those hours from the simulator.
Yeah,
they're going to send you anyway to training. Yeah. So it's
so it's like by the time you fly, you'll have these hours.
Yeah, by the time you finish our training, you'll have the 1,500. So they would hire you at a little bit less time, but I don't think they're doing that anymore. They're waiting until you get to the 1,500.
Well, that's why everybody was saying apply 3 months ahead, because the regionals would basically say like, oh, he'll be at his hours by this time, so we'll train him then and he'll be good.
I don't think I'd be like I've waited this long. Let me just get there first. I don't think I could like it's too many things to worry about. Like okay, but I still got to get those hours by the time I get the job, and I'm just gonna get the hours. Then apply, so Correct. I'm sure I have everything.
Well, and I applied a little early too, and I kind of have that mindset now. Like a bunch of people are like, they think, oh, I'm going to be a CFI. And then like when I get to 600 hours or 700 hours, I'm going to start looking for the next opportunity because I want quality over quantity. I want better hours than flying a 172. Kind of the way I looked at it is like, let me just get there. Let me just get to 1,500. And then if I want to look at quality after that, I'll look at quality after. But like, let me get to where I need to be first, to where I'm qualified. And then if I want to get more quality hours after, I can go try and get another job that has quality hours. But for now, it's probably, some people could say like, oh, this guy probably knows his stuff the best compared to some people. But I think some people, I've heard this too, where some people are like, you're not really flying the plane. You're just kind of letting students fly the plane.
Yeah, but it's a different, like going from flight instruction to, or being a flight instructor to going to doing charters and flying, making decisions to go fly to anywhere in the country. You know, it's a different set of decision making that you have to do.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And that's what, you don't understand it until you get to that 135 job or that 121 job, you know, that it's a different decision-making process.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's a different world.
Yeah, just on the little long cross countries I've done and multi-engine planes or different planes, it's just different. It's just different, like you said, different decision-making. And then whenever you get in a jet that goes 4 times as fast and 4 times higher,
you're going to make decisions based on, you know, like this morning we had that weather. I'd probably take off in the Lear and I'll be gone from it before that weather gets here, you know?
Yeah.
So, whereas in the 172, probably not going to take off because, you know, it'd take me forever and it's going to be kind of rough.
There's no getting above.
And there's no climbing above it, yeah.
Yeah, there's no getting above.
And going around it takes you another, you know, hour and a half or whatever to your trip.
Yeah, compared to a jet that goes 400 knots.
Yeah, it's going to take you 5 minutes to get around it.
Yep.
Climb to 350. I don't know if that, I'm assuming that website's still around, but it's more like charter, corporate. They list all those jobs. I think they got flight instructor jobs too on there. Everything. It's more of the, not just airlines.
Yeah, I'll probably have to.
Bush pilot, crop dusters.
I'm for it. I mean,
we should get a crop duster on here.
Yeah, I don't know any crop duster guys.
Brennan, become a crop duster so we can have you back.
That's what I'm doing. Screw the airlines. I'm crop dusting.
Crop dusting.
Oh, piece of.
Well, just because I want to know, like,
yeah, I'd be interested in knowing.
They love it, but nobody ever wants to do it. Like, it's never anybody's first choice.
Most of the people that we teach, you know, end up wanting to go to the airlines or a charter job, but the crop dusting guys, I don't know.
Because they seem to love what they do.
They still want, I mean, you still have to get the same licenses.
As an airline job?
Well, they don't, generally they don't get their instrument rating, but they still have to get private and commercial.
I didn't know that.
Because most of the time, I mean, all their flying is VFR, yeah.
They're like 30 feet above the ground.
Yeah, they don't need it.
You don't want to be in the clouds.
I wonder what they get paid.
A lot. A good bit. I mean,
and it's probably like 4 guys that have done it for the past 40 years.
Probably.
I mean, Lloyd used to be a crop duster.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's Lloyd?
The ag guys, they're a small knit community and everybody knows everybody for sure. I think you just need to set your expectations accordingly for jobs. For new people. Don't think that you're going to get hired right at your minimums.
Set your expectations. You're not going to get hired.
Yes.
You won't. Well, I think, like you said, it's just, like I said earlier, it's just normal.
Yeah, it's gone back to normal because I mean, for a while there, it was crazy. COVID slowed it down. And then once after COVID, it started picking up back to wild. But for COVID, it was wild. So it's been wild for a few years.
I would still start applying just because, I mean, there's a paper trail of you, like your interest in that company, right? And they see like, oh, this guy's applied this many times. He must be interested in this company. So I say it probably has some weight.
They won't get annoyed with you.
No. I mean, there's probably pilots that do it 10 times more than what you do, you know, and that's probably annoying. But I mean, if you update your hours every 50 to 100 hours and send in a resume after, I don't think I wouldn't. I mean, if they did that, but I think it's just normal. I think, like you said, it's been crazy for so many years that all these people that get into it are like, man, what happened? Why is it going? Aviation's on the downhill.
Yeah, no, it's
just normal. Probably
they slowed down.
It's just normal.
I mean, at one point I heard that it was airplanes, like they weren't get the deliveries that they were supposed to have or whatever.
Yeah.
So
that's why hiring slowed down.
Yeah, well, you can't hire. You don't want to hire pilots if you don't have the planes to put them in. So.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Like there was some stat where it talked about like how many pilots are hired based off of just one plane being put in commission for an airline. It's like a couple hundred.
Oh wow!
Like based off of that one plane, right? Getting into service or something.
That's great.
Like that.
I guess I never thought about it. It's not your
Probably
plane
not
that you're
much,
flying,
but still, like I remember it was a good bit. It was like, geez, with just one plane has that much weight. It was like, yeah,
gross.
Yeah. Yep. And just think about it. If you got an order for 20 planes or 10 planes or something like that.
Couple thousand.
Yeah. 10 planes, of Boeing planes just getting held back.
And that doesn't sound like a lot.
No, yeah. Doesn't sound like it, but
it is.
But I tell you what, it is. It makes an impact. And the economy too, I think.
Yeah.
I think whenever you have economic downturn, people usually
they're not flying as much.
Well, they kind of regress.
Yeah.
Like maybe I shouldn't spend all this money on these people or do this and do that, right? But I mean, the economy goes up and down.
Yep.
So when the economy goes back up, I think it'll go back up with it, just like everything else does.
Yep.
We'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
Don't be a little scaredy cat.
Nope.
Flight Tales, woo-woo.
If you've made it this far, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, we would just like to say thank you, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about today's episode or suggestions for future episodes, just leave a comment or message us, and we'll do our best to answer. If you'd like to check out some fun aviation videos, check out our YouTube channel at Owens Flight Training. Or if you'd like to get more information on becoming a safe, knowledgeable, and confident pilot, just head over to our website, owensflighttraining.com.